Hey, I'm back to talk to you about how to reconcile happiness and pandemic fatigue. Maybe you've seen my post from earlier this week. I'm talking about this topic all week, so how to reconcile happiness and pandemic fatigue. I'm going to actually about it for several weeks, but this week it's all about the inner aspects, like our emotional aspects, our exhaustion, our health. And so maybe you have felt some of that. It's a real thing. I hear lots of people talk about the blahs that they feel, the uncertainty about the future is unsettling. So I hear that a lot in my clients. I also, read about it in different publications I read. So it's a real phenomenon, and I just wanted to bring it up and share something that happened to me a few weeks ago. As you might know, if you've been following me for a while, I took care of my parents at the end of their lives for about 2 years, and about 6 months after that, we had the first lockdown here in France, and so things got a bit mixed up for me between the grief and the pandemic stuff. But I found myself a few weeks ago, so this is now, over a year and a half since my parents have both been gone. And so things are a bit better from that point of view, or a lot better. But I found myself strangely, one Sunday morning I woke up and I was thinking about the future and how I didn't really have any burning desires for the future or, big dreams. And suddenly I had this thought, maybe I'm going to die young. And that really startled me. That was a strange thing to think. But I sat with it for a bit, and then I thought, well, yeah, of course. Doesn't mean I'm going to die young, but it's true that the future is not, the way it used to be, or the way we can imagine the future is not the same. Something really changed with this whole pandemic. But so what it did for me is it really propelled me into a bit of action. Like I had stopped working out. I'd become quite sedentary, whereas I used to be quite, very active and very regular in my exercise routine and stuff. And so what that did is I started moving my body again some more, and just really being mindful of taking care of my body and doing the things that are good for my health and my physical well-being, in addition to my emotional well-being, which is already something that I pay attention to, because that's what I help other people to do. So it would make no sense if I didn't do it myself. But so anyway, if you follow my post this week, you've probably seen that it's a common thing to be a bit discouraged, to have some really a case of blahs that doesn't necessarily is not necessarily explained by the particular circumstances of your life, but just something has really shifted in the social possibilities, in the connection, the way people connect. At least a lot of people feel that. So maybe you feel some of it too, and this might help you to kind of put words on it or come to terms with some of it. I also talked a bit in one of my posts about priorities. So what are your priorities? So when you're exhausted or when you don't have the energy that you're used to having, it's important to prioritize. Like, there's often more change that you can effect than what you think. And there's really some choices to make to live more in agreement with your priorities. And that's especially important when you don't have the resources that you're used to having. And so I really want to insist on self-care and prioritizing and really thinking about your priorities. And to help you with that, if you don't have it yet, I invite you to download my free guide, The 5 Obstacles to Your True Happiness, for people who have already tried everything, or people who have already been looking for a while, So if you go to my bio, there's a Linktree link there, and it's at the top. So if you don't have that free guide yet, go ahead and download it. And then I'd love it if you would tell me in the comments like how you relate to this issue of reconciling happiness and pandemic fatigue, and what you found that helps you with respect to this pandemic fatigue. So, please share in the comments. I'll reply to all the comments I get or all the messages I get. So that's it for today. So I wish you a great day, and stay tuned if you want to explore this topic more. I'll be covering more about that in the coming weeks. I'll see you soon.